So today we're going to be talking about manifestation, but we're also going to be looking at a side shoot of manifestation, which is called Murphy's Law. So yeah, we are going to be demystifying and debunking, as it were, manifestation, the law of attraction. There are many parts to this, so you're just going to have to bear with me through this. And at the end, I do have an idea for you to try, so you can see whether this works. Now, first of all, I'm going to say, I do not have the law of attraction or manifestation worked out 100%. So whenever I want something to happen, it happens. I don't have, as some people sell it, the magic brainwave formula. Buy this for $30 and all your problems will be solved. No. We are going to analyze this. Manifestation has been practiced for as long as you can read back in history. It has been performed in many different ways. Some people will just say, just do this, just do that, and then suddenly, perhaps you've done them. The question is, did they work? Even down to the social media posts that everybody sees. Oh, click yes to this and $1 million will come into your bank tomorrow. Like, yeah, right, come on. We can call it manifestation. We can call it writing spells. We can call it higher magic rituals. We can even call it, if you look, for example, at the Bible. Yes, it's even in the Bible. Perhaps it was written in a way to control people, but there's a story in the Bible about to enter the kingdom of heaven. A rich man gives whatever he gave, and a poor man gave much less, but it was more significant to him. Thus, he reached the kingdom of heaven. He reached the level of manifestation, because the Bible is full of secrets if you only know how to read them. Now, I'm not going into whether that is because it's real or whether it's just lots of different stories taken from much older traditions and just bunked together, put under the name of this guy to control masses in one religion. I don't know. Maybe it's one way, maybe it's the other. But there are secrets in there. It is a powerful book, just like many of the other religious books out there. Because let's face it, the first book in the Bible isn't just Christian. It's also Muslim. It's also Judaism. It is the Abrahamic religions that follow that stuff. And there's stuff in there. So we have manifestation. We can call it possibly even rites of passage. But there are initiations to do things. There are rituals, rain dances. Through the millennia, there has been sacrifices, or they say offerings to the gods. This has sort of changed, and it's like, well, just go and give a couple of oranges to an altar and everything happens. Yeah, okay. What is important to realize is this has been going on for millennia. It's not a new thing. People have had their ways and their formulas to try and do this. People might have seen my videos and know I'm not going to sell you a load of rubbish. I'm going to call things how they are. I'm not a guru that says just do this and everything's wonderful. No. One thing you may have happened to you in your life is called Murphy's Law or Sod's Law. If you recognize this as part of the formula of manifestation, you'll realize you're further along than you thought you were. Because what is Murphy's Law? Something happens that you've been wanting to happen, and it happens just at the wrong moment. This can be a positive thing, or this can be a negative thing. But Murphy's Law shows us that when we try to do something and it doesn't happen, when we almost give up, we'll get back to that one, then suddenly it happens. Or, right when we didn't want something to happen, and we didn't want it to happen, and right at the worst moment, it happens. Murphy's Law, as I said, it can be positive or it can be negative. So if Murphy's Law has ever happened to you, that just explains to you that you can manifest at least a certain percentage of the time when you're looking for something to happen. What I have realized, forget all those movies of, oh, just do this and then, what I've realized is if you study, and I study a lot, for example, if you study higher magic and witchcraft or spellcraft, it's a very interesting subject. They will say things like, well, it's brought about by sacrifice, offering. It is brought about by the transmutation of emotions. So this is a bit like visualization, but it's emotions, it's feelings. So you focus on your state of where you are, and then you transmute that emotion into where you want to be, just making it in the present. This is similar to a visualization board. Put on, pictures of what you want and look at them every day, and that's sort of just helping you work to attain your goals using your subconscious, so your subconscious focuses on them and so looks. It's a bit like signs and symbols, that video I said. It's like the 1111. What is it? That the visualization board basically works in a similar way. But what has become blatantly clear to me, to manifest something, and remember, manifestation, to attain whatever you wish, is even one of the siddhis in the yogic and tantric traditions. It's just one of them on the list to attain whatever you desire. So you want something, you're doing everything you can to do it, and it just doesn't sort of manifest, it doesn't formulate, it doesn't work out. And then, as we said with Murphy's Law, as soon as you decide to give up and you make this change, suddenly it happens. So as I said, what has become blatantly clear is if you follow these things. Now, I can't tell you a hard and fast rule, because the other thing that has become blatantly clear to me is for every person, this point is slightly different. So if we talk about it monetarily, like sort of it did in that Bible story, if a rich man gives a loaf of bread, it doesn't mean anything, but if a poor man gives a loaf of bread, it means everything. Thus, and we're not just talking about money, we're talking about that point that for every person, depending on your beliefs, your biases, your personal situation, this level is going to be slightly different. But what is blatantly clear is to manifest something requires what I'm going to call movement. When I say movement, I'm talking about a movement of energy. When you move this energy in a way, we can call it giving up. But we can also call it giving up in its positive form, because there is no dualism. It's a frequency. So this frequency can be, from your perspective, negative, or from your perspective, positive. So sometimes giving up is that frequency. And in magic, they say, you do the spell that you want to do and then forget about it and go and do something else. That is that giving up type of point. But, so the other side of the circle, as I said, because it's not dualistic, it's multidimensional. The top side of the circle compared to the bottom. You're saying top and bottom, yes, but it's a circle or a sphere or a toroidal shape. That is gratitude. So if you do something, it doesn't work, and you give up, and it suddenly starts happening, Murphy's Law, that's the giving up. But if you find that same frequency within gratitude at the top, it also happens. And there are many people that talk about manifesting. Well, I did this and I've got loads of success now and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Because they either reached that level that they decided to give up and suddenly it started happening, so they jumped on it, and they don't tell you that. Or because through gratitude, they reached the same frequency, it kickstarted it, and things started to compound. So how do we get to this movement? Well, obviously, you have to do everything you can to attain it. And this does not just mean working hard at something, because you can work hard at something. Sod all those manifestation videos. Well, if you just do it and you keep doing it, eventually it will happen. You will eventually manifest it. No, because for every one case of those, there are, let's make up a random number, 10,000 cases of people hitting it every day and it just doesn't work. Because it requires this movement, this shift. And so not only do you need to be doing it, you need to be, as I said, like with those signs and symbols, where I said, when you see the 1111, it isn't something magical is happening. It's that your brain is looking for it. And so many people will have seen that video and seen it as a negative thing. However, when you are manifesting something, perhaps it's a new job. When your subconscious starts working for you instead of against you, and starts finding this thing that you start a conversation with this random person, and it just happens that they know someone who is looking for someone like you. That is doing everything. It's not just writing a CV. It's opening your subconscious, tuning into those 1111 signs. So it finds every little thing, and you follow every single path you possibly can to manifest. However, it still takes this movement, this energy shift. And this is why in the past they had this energy shift as in a sacrifice, negative, offering, positive, ritual or initiation. Again, we can talk about magic. There are many rituals in magic. Now, some of them, when I say magic, I'm talking about higher magic. Higher magic is about reaching enlightenment. It's not some sorcerer and well, maybe these people attain the cities, but the whole point of higher magic is the same as yoga. It is the same as tantra, to reach that highest level you possibly can. But so they have rituals. Now, these rituals can be simply to get you into an energetic state, to get in the right frequency for things to start happening within you. Call it producing adrenaline, calling it connecting to your energy. But it's not just about connecting to your energy. Movement is beyond just connecting. It's reaching that frequency, that shift state, that paradigm shift state, as others like to call it. Quantum jumping, others like to call it. There are many different names these days to try and plug different things. But then there are rituals that are performed to do specifically that, to try and get to this point of the movement. So how can we get to this movement? Well, there is one very powerful method that is in virtually every culture, and it is the economic movement. Because as many people say, money, don't think of it as numbers, don't think of it as pieces of paper that you hand over. You think of it as energy. Because there is an energy exchange within every communication. And if you are buying something or purchasing something with these numbers, that's all they are, they're just numbers invented by governments that actually have no backing whatsoever. But that to you, when you hand over the money, that also creates an energy exchange. So as you hand over the money or donate the money, if you just pull out your wallet and say, oh, here's a tip. But if you take out your money and you give a tip with absolute gratitude, and that amount is a significant, important amount to you, this can create enough energy in this movement and produce manifestation. And here, some people are going to be like, oh God, blah, blah, blah. But I will invite you to do, if you wish to do this monetarily, you don't have to do this monetarily, but if you wish to do this monetarily, I'm going to invite you to do one of two things. First of all, you have to find a number that, whilst it does not break the bank for you, obviously, it is a significant amount for you. Now, for some people in some countries, this could be $1, €1. It could be less. And for other people, it might be €50. For others, it might be 100. For others, it might be 10,000. Because, hell, if you're a multimillionaire, it might even need to be more than 10,000. So what you can do is you give this money. Now, if you wish to do this and give the money to me via a super thanks, hell, thank you very much. I'll be very grateful for it. But you can also do this donating to charity. Now, this can be a registered charity, or it can just be someone in need. It could be donating it, similar to a charity, donating it to a school that gives sponsorships to underprivileged kids. Go do that. I said, you can also do it to me in super thanks, I'll be very grateful and it'll work the same. But I say it in jest, but I know clients that they say to me, every time I pay you, I have a great day in my business. Why is that? So taking this amount of money and giving it in 100% frequency of gratitude, of thanks to the event that you're doing. So for example, I used the idea of giving thanks and knowing if you give this money to a school, knowing it's going to be used to sponsor an underprivileged kid to get education, or it's going to healthcare, or it's going to. One of the biggest problems with big charities doing this is we know deep down that if you give money to X charity, I'm not going to name any, that you might give $10 or €10, and you actually know, because of the way the system works, the money that's actually going to reach the people that need it might only be about 10 cents. So those places, if you know that, might not be the best way to do it, because you know it's actually not going where you intended it to go, therefore it's going to block the movement. So find one you really like, you really trust, or It could be. Hell, it could even be giving money. Your grandparents are short on money. Give it to your grandparents. Give it to your neighbor. If you're a grandparent, give it to your grandson, your niece, your nephew, your cousin. It doesn't matter. But give it in such a point of gratitude, such a point of thanks. Gratitude and thanks are not the same thing. To raise your energy and connect to your energy to create this movement, this shift to manifest for you. And here's a little warning. I said at the end I was going to give you a little warning about this. When you do this, it might not quite manifest the thing you are thinking it will manifest for. Because I'm sure that you have tried to manifest many, many things in the past. And so there's this whole stack of manifestations waiting, ready to go, whether you want them or not right now, but you've tried to manifest them. And so you might find by doing this, the one that was created with the most energy is the one that's going to manifest first. Now, it could be something that you really desired. Maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're 25. And there was something when you were 10 years old that you really desired. And you do this practice in whichever way it is. And I've said doing it monetarily. It doesn't have to be money. It can just be an offering. It can just be creating a big enough shift, changing job, moving house. Start making a commitment, and if you don't go to the gym, make this commitment and go to the gym. That could be enough to do it. But it can manifest this thing that you really wanted when you were 10 years old. And so you need to recognize that when it happens and not be ungrateful for it. Because guess what? If you are ungrateful for that, it's going to knock everything else down. And it's going to be harder the next time to create the shift. So if that happens, just use it as a sign. Awesome, this stuff works. Okay, Murphy's Law. I manifested something that I really wanted. Unfortunately, it was when I was 10 years old. But it worked. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep pushing the boundary. And it could be give money to another place or give more money to the same place. It could be, okay, well, I made a commitment and I made the shift and I started going to the gym. Well, how do I do that? Go to the gym more often? Maybe. Or maybe it's, okay, now I'll go to the gym and I'm going to follow the hobby that I wanted to do and create that shift in my life. So I'm going to be going to the gym, and I always wanted to learn to play the piano. I'm going to start learning to play the piano instead of, messing around on your phone. And just start ticking the boxes. And the more you realize these little manifestations or these past manifestations are occurring, even if you didn't want them, if you keep doing this, you're going to keep building your power of manifestation. Obviously, understand manifesting these things. It's the other thing they say with the law of manifestation, and it's well known in the realms of magic and spellcraft. The bigger the thing you wish to manifest, if you're not used to manifesting things, is going to be very challenging. So start small. And I'm not saying, well, I need some more money, so I'm going to try and manifest $5 or €5. You can go to something significant for you, but not out of this world for you. So it is attainable, but it is a challenge. Those are the ones that are really amazing that happen. And they do happen when you figure out your personal level of the movement to move this energy in gratitude, giving thanks, feeling completely whole for it. And of course, as they also say in all these things, desire will also kill manifestation. Because if you are still desiring something, you don't have it. So whatever you do, for example, if you want to do this, say, okay, I'm going to do this, and yeah, I'm so thankful for this video, and I'm really going to try, and I'm going to give Skeed a super thanks. And it's going to be a significant amount to me to make it important. Great. Hit the button, give the money. I'll be very thankful. It'll be really helpful to me. But then with the energy shift, this movement, you let it go and you know it's done. You know it is done. So you no longer desire it because it's already done. Remember, it could manifest something previously, if that you previously tried to manifest. If that happens, be grateful for it, be thankful for it. Now, okay, what happens if I do this and I have either forgotten I tried to manifest something that suddenly appears, which is highly possible, or it just doesn't work for me? Well, I gave to this charity or that charity, or I gave you the super thanks and it didn't work. Well, there wasn't enough gratitude, thanks, or the amount of energy you put in via the money, the transfer of energy, wasn't big enough. So it's not just one thing, it's 3 things you've got to get right, plus no desire. Digest this. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, that bell that's now next to the subscribe button. And also leave a comment. Now I know there are going to be the typical trolls, the typical haters saying, oh, well, what he said is just send him money. I haven't said that. I've given that to you as an option, that if you wish to do it. But I've also given the option of giving to charities. And it doesn't even have to be money. It could be donating your time to something. Donating your time to go and, if you're a parent, to the Parents Association if you're not involved. If it's to a local bread bin, or donating your time to help homeless people. There are many things you can do. It can just be, as I said, going to the gym. Yeah, there are many options, but it's got to be significant, done in gratitude, in thanks. So those trollers that wish to say that, you are who you are. We know that trollers and negative people, they come from 2 points. They're either people that try to steal your energy to make themselves feel better. They put you down to try and make you feel better. That's one type of troller, one type of hater. And the other one is, they are just sad, unhappy people. Well, no, it's, I didn't like what you said and therefore I'm allowed to comment about it. Yeah. Or when you see something you don't like, you just move on. It's that simple. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. See you in another video.